If your marketing disappeared tomorrow, would your leads disappear with it? That's the difference between rented traffic and owned traffic. And in 2026, this is where remodelers are either building long-term leverage or burning cash. Let's break it down. Most remodelers are overinvested in rented traffic and they're underinvested in owned traffic. They're renting attention instead of building assets. And when you rent attention, the meter is always running. Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram boosts, Home Advisor, House, the second you stop paying, the leads stop. That's rented traffic. Now, rented traffic is not bad. Let me be clear. It's fast, it's controllable, it's scalable, but it is temporary. Owned traffic is different. Owned traffic is your website ranking in Google, your content showing up in AI answers, your email list, your YouTube videos, your project spotlight pages. These are assets. They keep working when you're not actively paying for every click. Here's where remodelers are wasting money in 2026. They're pouring 80% of their budget into rented channels and barely investing into owned channels. And then they wonder why they're stuck on the hamster wheel. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. You've got Spray and Pray Steve. He runs Google Ads year round. Every month he spends $6,000. He gets some leads, some are good, some are terrible, and if he pauses the ads for even 30 days, his pipeline dries up. He doesn't own anything. Now, compare that to a remodeler who's invested in SEO and AI visibility for the last 24 months. They have service and city pages that are ranking, cost guides that are showing up in search, project spotlights that are indexed in Google, blog posts that are answering high intent questions. Now, they still run ads, but their ads amplify what they own, and that's the difference. Owned traffic compounds. Rented traffic resets every month. So let's zoom out for just a second. In the Remodeler growth framework, your website sits at the center. Now, around the center, you have owned traffic, rented traffic, and then earned traffic. The mistake isn't using rented traffic. The mistake is using rented traffic to drive people to a weak center. If your website isn't strong, if your content library isn't deep, if your SEO foundation isn't built, you're just paying to expose weakness faster. And that can get really expensive. Let's talk about what's changed in 2026. AI search, it's real, and it has arrived. Google's AI overviews, ChatGPT, Perplexity. These platforms pull from content. They don't pull from ads. If you're not building owned content, then you don't exist in AI. And whether you love AI or you hate it, your buyers are starting to use it. When someone types, "What does a kitchen remodel cost in Denver?" or "How long does a whole home remodel take in Charlotte?" or "What permits are needed for an addition in Raleigh?" AI tools are synthesizing answers from real websites. If you haven't built the content, then you're invisible. And you can't rent your way into AI authority. You have to earn it and own it. Now let's talk about money. Let's say your average project gross profit is $45,000. You spend $8,000 a month on ads. That's $96,000 per year. If you don't track revenue properly, you don't even know if you're winning. So no data Dave, he looks at impressions and clicks and says, marketing's working, but he doesn't know his cost to acquire a customer. And he doesn't know his ratio between what a customer is worth and what it costs him. He doesn't know which channel actually drove revenue. Owned traffic improves your unit economics. When you rank organically, your cost per acquisition drops over time. When you build an email list, you can generate revenue without paying for every click. When you publish cost pages, you pre-qualify buyers before they ever talk to sales, and that reduces wasted appointments. It increases close rate, and it shortens sales cycles. Owned traffic doesn't just generate leads, it improves lead quality. But owned traffic takes time. SEO takes 6 to 12 months to mature. AI visibility compounds over time. Content requires consistency. Rented traffic gives you that dopamine hit. You launch a campaign, leads come in, you feel the momentum. But if your entire strategy depends on dopamine, you're exposed. So a balanced remodeler marketing strategy in 2026 looks a little like this. Phase 1, build the foundation with clear website positioning, strong service and city pages, cost and timeline content, and conversion paths for researching and ready buyers. Phase 2, build that owned visibility. So this is SEO content clusters, project spotlight depth, email list growth, and AI optimized structure. Phase 3, Use rented traffic to accelerate, so paid search for high intent terms, retargeting ads, and seasonal pushes. Now, notice the order: foundation, owned, then rented amplification, not rented first and pray. If you're spending heavily on ads, but your organic visibility is weak, you're likely overpaying. If your cost per lead keeps rising every year, you're over-reliant on rented platforms. If you stop marketing and everything collapses, you don't own enough. The goal isn't to eliminate rented traffic. The goal is to make rented traffic optional or an accelerant, but not mandatory. When you own enough digital real estate in your market, you control the game. You can scale up ads during busy seasons. You can throttle them back when you're full. You can drive traffic to assets that convert better over time. And that's real leverage. And leverage is what separates stable remodelers from stressed remodelers. So here's the question I want you to sit with. If you cut your ad budget in half tomorrow, would your business survive? And if the answer is no, it's time to shift. Build assets, build authority, build owned visibility. Then use rented traffic as fuel. That's how you stop wasting money in 2026. And that's how you build a marketing engine that actually compounds. All right, we'll see you next time here on Builder Funnel TV.